What up, friends? You'll just go free, and today we're going to be reviewing P1Harmony's newest mini-album, Disharmony, Find Out. This is the third mini-album by the K-pop boy band rookies P1Harmony. The group really wowed me with the first installation of this little series called Standout back in 2020. It was a pretty fresh take on the trap rap scene of K-pop, and they came in with a confidence that you don't really see a lot in new groups. Their second mini-album wasn't as adventurous overall, yet still pretty solid. This new project largely follows in their second mini-album's footsteps. Do It Like This is a pretty great opener to the mini. It's got that cocky and fun beat that sets the mood, and the flows are also really fun. It's a bit more traditional compared to some of their other songs, however, it's still got that swagger that they're known for. I also kind of like how it's less K-poppy, if that makes sense. The beat does have a bit of a western trap rap vibe to it, which makes it kind of stand out compared to a lot of their contemporaries that are going for a similar sound. Great bounce on the vocals, I love how they're playing with the beat, and the self-empowerment lyrics about the boys being the dream team about to take on the world are all just combining into a really fun track that opens up this project. Now, I've been loving these K-pop songs that utilize sound effects that have been popping up here and there lately, and That's Money is another great example of this. The instrumental is simple and dark, letting the rapping do most of the talking, however, the more delicate moments are also interwoven into the track really well. The drop into the chorus is fantastic, and the chorus itself is probably the best part of the track with its clanging beat switch and fun flows. Even the more electro moments of this instrumental are integrated really well. There's a lot of subtle moments in the instrumental that build the beat up even more, and the attitude on this one is just infectious. I love all the money comparisons in the lyrics, with the boys saying that their version of money is their drive and commitment to their passions, and how they don't just bank on fads like a lot of other people in the scene might do. Follow Me has a pretty interesting beat. It almost has an arena rock sound to it, but with a bit more personality than a lot of arena rock tracks. It can still feel pretty conventional though, and the millennial whoop on the chorus is just so overdone at this point. I also don't think that the electronic portions of this beat are integrated as well. They feel a bit overblown at points. It's not a bad track per se, and I actually do really like the verses. However, I feel like they could have taken it into a darker, more rap-oriented direction as opposed to the dance-poppy direction that they ended up going with it. The very dramatic and anthemic Nothing Can Stop Me vibe in the lyrics do fit the overall aesthetic, though. Bop is pretty similar to Do It Like This, with an electro-rap beat and very confident vocals that call this track home. I really dig the subtle inclusion of the electric guitar, and the wavy chorus is very smooth and catchy. It's also not afraid to have some fun, too, with the odd sound effect here and there, flowing vocal harmonies, and even some beatboxing that comes in at points, too. It does a good job at setting itself apart from other tracks that have a similar sound on the mini-album. In fact, that's kind of what the lyrics are about as well, with the boys just finding quirky little ways to chill and have fun and be satisfied with their career up until this point. I mean, like, it's a bop, what can I say? Before the Dawn is kind of the obligatory piano ballad track on a K-pop mini-album, however, it does do a few things that set it apart from other songs like this. I really like the more filtered vocals on this, alongside the acoustic guitar and the strings. The more unconventional flows and vocal patterns were also pretty neat, giving the track almost a sort of stream of consciousness vocal style. One of the problems that I have with a lot of Korean piano ballads is a lot of the time they're very simple and isolated. They end up sounding kind of samey and they end up blending into each other, but that really isn't the case with this one. Funnily enough, it actually kind of sounds like a God ballad at times, with like its subtle hip-hop elements kind of weaved in here and there, which is pretty neat. Kehoe's I Can See the Sun Is Rising line at the end of the chorus is also a highlight. I love the way it's delivered. Pacemaker is not a bad way to end the mini-album, however, it is a bit weird to have two sort of similar piano ballad tracks end the project back to back. I also find the track to be a bit too exaggerated in points with the addition of these synths and pop elements, however, it's not too bad. I'm gonna be honest, it kinda reminds me of a Big Time Rush instrumental, especially during the chorus, but you know, I'm a closet Big Time Rush fan, so you can just disregard my opinions on everything forever, I guess. I think this track's biggest crime is just feeling kind of standard and appearing on a project that already fulfilled its ballad quota, if you know what I mean. Overall, this is another pretty good project for the boys. Like the last one, it's not as forward-thinking for K-pop in comparison to their standout mini-album, however, it largely does keep up their swagger and charisma and everything else that you come to the band for. The introduction of a few more Western-influenced beats was pretty dynamic, pretty fun, and refreshing, and I do think their flows on this album were also pretty solid. I just hope they keep pushing themselves to never stay in one place and not give in to trends. I really want them to create something that was as provocative and engaging for K-pop as Siren was back in 2020. They don't have to recreate that sound or replicate it by any means, but just something that kind of pushes the envelope a bit more. But at the end of the day, I am feeling a light 7 on this newest P1Harmony mini album. Of course, we do have to talk about album covers on this show, and like the last two, it's kind of following a very similar theme. Very minimalistic album cover, very minimalistic color combination. This one's going for a sort of sheet metal gray look. I still think that probably their second one is their best album cover overall. However, this one's not too bad either. It fits in, it does the job. It's just almost a bit too simplistic, which is kind of strange coming from me because I like minimalism. But I feel like they could have played with the imagery a little bit more. Of course, those are just my thoughts on this mini-album. What do you guys think? Do you think this is their best mini-album yet? Or are you still hoping for something as experimental as Siren to come back? Let me know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell to ring my siren, and until the next one, farewell.